Good evening. Welcome to the July 13th, 2021 Village Board Meeting. Please rise for the pledge, which today will be led by our very own resident, Elena Humphrey.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Just be careful. Thank you. Good? All right. Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call vote? Roll call, please.
Yes, Mayor. Trustee Zarate? Here. Trustee Watts?
Here.
Trustee Rupsis?
Here.
Trustee Lawler?
Here.
Trustee Doras?
Here.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Here.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of our regular meeting of June 22nd, 2021?
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Rupsis, second. Trustee Watts, are there any additions, corrections, or deletions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next up, we have our approval of agenda. Mr. Odelson, are there any changes to this evening's agenda?
No, Madam Mayor, there are not.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve this evening's agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Lawler, second. Trustee Doris, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next up, we have two appointments for consideration this evening. We have one appointment for the Beautification Commission, Teresa Hill. May I have a motion to approve this appointment?
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Carpenzano, second. Trustee Zarate, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'd like to invite Ms. Teresa Hill up, please.
Good evening. Good evening. I am Teresa Hill, and I've lived in Bolingbrook since 1981, and I actually have really watched Bolingbrook grow, because when I moved out here in 1981, actually I've been out here since 1979 in an apartment, but in the home since 1981. And when I first moved out here, and it was only Boughton was what, east and west. And so I lived in Norwegian Woods. I think that's what it was called at that time. And so the post office actually is in the same place. But everybody, you know what, is anyone familiar with where Norwegian Woods is? Right across on Boughton, right? Where that new car wash is? Right there? I had to come from, now you know it's not that far, but honestly, because it was only the cornfields, I thought I was actually had to go out of town to get to the post office. I'm like, what? I don't believe what it was just like. But anyway, I'm just so happy to have lived here in Bolingbrook as long as I have, because I have really, like I said, not only has it grown, but I've grown with it, and that's what I can appreciate about it.
Well, that's
More than
wonderful.
anything, yes.
Thank you so much, and we're glad that you didn't go out of town,
Right.
coming into town.
Yeah, coming into
So,
town,
and,
yes.
and we do appreciate you stepping up and offering to help on our Beautification Commission and keeping beautiful.
Yes, that's what's
Bolingbrook
important
beautiful.
to me.
All right, ready?
Right? Yes. Oh,
Raise your right
yeah.
hand.
Right. Okay.
I state your name,
I, Teresa Hill,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States,
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Municipal Code of the Village of Bolingbrook,
the Municipal Code of the Village of Bolingbrook,
and that I will faithfully discharge my duties
and I will faithfully discharge my duties
as Beautification Commissioner
as Beautification Commissioner
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
in a manner prescribed by law.
in a manner that's prescribed by law.
Congratulations.
Okay. Thank you, Mary.
We're going to turn around.
Mhm.
Take a
Oh.
picture right there. Let's move this over. All right, you hold this. This is
Oh.
yours now. I have my own.
Oh.
Thank you
Okay.
again very much.
Okay, thank you.
That was a nice story, wasn't it? I love hearing Bolingbrook history. Next, we have Bolingbrook Community Television, BCT, new appointment, Mr. Mike Martin. Come on up. I'm going to get you to stand right here, Mr. Martin. Thank you.
No problem.
May I have a motion to approve Mr. Martin joining our BCT Commission?
So moved.
Oh, wow. Trustee Watts, second Trustee Lawler. Don't all answer at once. Any discussions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I didn't think so. Motion carries. Mike, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Let's see. My mom came out here back in '85, a year before I did. I didn't come out till like '86. I was 13 when I came out to live. I said to my dad I wanted to live with my mom and stuff. So he put me in a plane out here, and I've been out here since I was 13. And then I basically went to private school up in Wisconsin.
Were you at JC?
I was at Bolingbrook JC for, let's see, I'm gonna say since 2001.
A long time.
A long time.
There we go.
Probably about a good 25, 30 years.
Good job.
And I got a letter from George W. Bush.
I don't even have one of those.
Invited me to the dinner out there at the White House.
Wow.
When I was at JC, it was like, is this some kind of prank or what? I wasn't know. It was a real thing.
That's so awesome. Well, Mike has been a volunteer on BCT for quite some time, and we are very fortunate to now have you as part of the commission. Don't we have some commissioners up here from BCT? Yes, we do. Come on up. Join him. This is a big moment. We have our chair, Nancy, and then we have our, oh, we got two for the price of one, so we have Nancy and Nancy. I know, we have both Nancys. Look at all these people. They came for you. They didn't come for me or this meeting, right?
Yeah, we came for you.
All right. They came for you, Mike. So congratulations. Let's do this. Ready?
Yeah.
Raise your right hand. I state your name.
Mike Martin.
Say I.
I,
Mike Martin.
Martin.
Do solemnly
do
swear
solemnly swear.
that I will uphold
Uphold.
the Constitution
Constitution.
of the United States, the Constitution
Constitution.
of the State of Illinois,
As the state of Illinois.
the municipal
The municipal
code
code
of the village
of the village
of Bolingbrook,
of Bolingbrook.
and that I
And I
will
will
faithfully
faithfully
discharge
discharge
my duties
my duties
as
as
BCT Commissioner
BC Commissioner
to the best of my
to
ability
the best of my abilities
in a manner
in a manner
prescribed
prescribed
by law.
by law.
Congratulations. All right, wait, okay. This has been, you ready?
Yeah.
Here, get out right here. All right, can you see everybody?
Yep,
Okay.
right here.
Look at Mom.
Hey, buddy. Congratulations.
He's not giving that up, man. It's like, he's not even sharing. Great job, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for coming out. Oh, it was so cool. He's worked so hard to be a part of this commission. I'm so excited. All right. Next, presentations. Tonight we have a presentation being made by Elena Humphreys, Vice Chair, Director of the Community Outreach of Bolingbrook Pride Board. She is joined by Dominic Posey, Secretary, and Jessica Blackburn, Board Member at Large. Coming back up? Or you want me to come down?
You come down.
Okay, I'm gonna come down.
You too. Come on over. Come over. Oh, yeah. Are we bringing Jazzy too?
I can't believe this is my new, this is my new job now? Good Lord.
We forgot to tell you about that one.
You forgot?
One more thing.
You want to?
Okay, is this good?
This is good. I don't know. Does it work? Can people hear me? Well, you're right there. Can everybody hear me? All right. Hello?
I can
Okay.
hear you now.
Perfect. Okay, so will you open that box for me? Do you want to even take it out? I don't know. We'll have multiple
I
hands
thought
here
she was
just a
the
moment.
prize. I was gonna take it.
Right? No, we're not letting go of Jazzy. All right, here. Yes, there we go. You stand it up over here for me, right here. Stand it up and face it this direction. All right, so we have, actually, I'm just gonna hand it straight to you, if you'll hold it, because it'll be wiped off after. Go. Yes, so we are presenting this award to you, Mayor Mary, and the trustees. Here, I'll read from it. It says, "This award is to commemorate Bolingbrook's first Pride Month proclamation, which signifies the village's inclusion and acceptance of its LGBTQ+ population. We applaud you." And that's presented by Bolingbrook Pride for June 2021 to Mayor Mary Alexander Basta, Deputy Mayor Michael D. Lara, and village trustees Michael Carpenzano, Troy Doris, Amy Ripsis, Sheldon Watts, and Maria Zarate.
Wow, thank you so much.
We wanted to say that from our inception in 2018, Bolingbrook Pride has been allowed to practice here in the village, but we feel truly accepted, and this move really shows that you value the LGBTQ members of our society, and we wanted to show that we really appreciate you.
Well, thank you so much. This is absolutely beautiful. The colors are beautiful, but it's a pyramid, so it's part of my heritage. Therefore, I can proudly display it at the mayor's office where you can all come and look at it. This is very, very nice. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
You are
Thank
so
you.
welcome. Yes.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
It's Lane.
Thank you all. So let's get a picture. Come on over. We need a picture with you. Yes.
No, I'm the one that's about to fall off the ramp.
Oh, it'll be all right.
Hold on.
Trustees, smile.
Thank you again so very much. Thank you.
We gotta go. We can't be on display the whole time. Thank you.
That is truly very, very nice. Thank you very much. I think that is, sure, I think that's the first thing with my name on it. Wow. It's First of many, and it's a pyramid. Just want you guys to know what I said. Thank you again very much. We were honored to be able to support the council this year with all the beautiful decor that they put around the walkway, and so we look forward to growing and having more activities. So thank you again very much. All right, any public comments this evening regarding items before the agenda? On the
We did
agenda.
not receive any in advance today.
Okay, anyone here in the audience that has public comments? Hi, there you go. I'm gonna just kind of hang out over here.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Patty Chow. I live on Cranberry in Bolingbrook, and I know before the board tonight you'll be talking about the cannabis retail sales potentially in Bolingbrook. I know I'll be learning a lot, just as you guys are right now, and I know the discussion's going to be happening, I'm assuming, for the next few meetings. I just wanted to make sure that the resident voice will be heard. I know Mr. Carpenzano had posted a survey and also asking for community input on Facebook, and I just want to make sure that in some other ways we'll also have opportunities for residents to give their feedback, perhaps through community forums. I'm not sure if that's what's going to be considered or not, or a survey that's more widely, distributed to the residents. So that way, instead of just putting comments perhaps on a Facebook page or a survey with just one question, whether you're for it or not, that we would have the opportunity to have more discussion and to really learn a lot about it. So tonight, I'm looking forward to learning about what you guys have learned about already, and I'm assuming it's going to happen for the next few meetings as well. Great. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do you want to go ahead and come on up since? So just so everybody knows, on the agenda this evening is the topic for discussion only, so it will not be voted on this evening.
Yeah, and since she brought up the subject of marijuana dispensaries, I wanted to voice my opinions about those. My name is Tammy Plata. I've been a resident of Bolingbrook since 1967. I've seen this town go from a farm-style community to a town that had a bad rap for many years because of gangs and drugs, to a diverse, family-oriented town it is today. I'm afraid that selling marijuana in our town will give us back the bad rap that Bolingbrook once had. Unlike other surrounding communities that have marijuana dispensaries, we are too easily accessible. We have 3 highway entrances to our town that are currently bringing trouble into our town, and our police are constantly catching people that are from out of town on warrants and things like that. You know, and I'm afraid marijuana sales in town will bring more of that because of our easy accessibility. We got rid of the bars and nightclubs, requiring most restaurants to sell a higher percentage of food sales than alcohol in town. And I have to think that it was to reduce individual altercations as well as distracted driving in town. With marijuana sales, I see both of these issues, again, increasing, which would lead to having to increase our police force. I've heard many say that why shouldn't we reap the harvest of marijuana sales to lower our taxes? But is it really going to do that? Is the sales tax going to be slated for the school district? Because that's the biggest portion of our tax bill today. So is all the sales tax going to go towards the school districts? I only see an increase in our first responders and that sales tax money going to that. And what about our youth? Laws will be in place that no one under the age of 21 will be able to purchase recreational marijuana. But we have the same laws in place for cigarettes and alcohol in this town. And we constantly see our children walking around smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol. And how are these kids getting it? They will get marijuana the same way they're getting the illegal cigarettes and alcohol. During the last election, we as a community voted down video gaming in Bolingbrook, so I must wonder how it is marijuana dispensaries is a better option. They will only bring the same types of problems, in my opinion. If we are going to have marijuana dispensaries in town, my opinion would be that we make them for medical purposes only. Thank you, everyone, for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I know that it takes time and effort, and especially during the summer when many people are doing so many other things, but this is why it's important, and we thank those that come to the meetings and voice their opinion, because that means that they truly care about the village and what goes on, so we do appreciate that. Thank you. All right, now for business. Bill listing A, $722,941.91. Bill listing B is $5,773,649.66. This amount does include July bond payment of $4,984,889 for a total of $6,496,591.57. May I have a motion to approve the payment of our bill listings, please?
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Carpenzano, second trustee Rupsis. Any discussion or questions regarding the bill listings? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Mayor. Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Rupsis?
Yes.
Trustee Doris?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Next up, we have 2 resolutions before the board this evening. First resolution is 21R-046, approving the purchase of 2 2022 Ford Inceptor utility hybrid vehicles under the Suburban Purchasing Cooperative. The fire department needed to replace vehicles for fire command staff. These new vehicles are to replace the two 2007 Chevy Malibus, which have high mileage and mechanical issues. These are being purchased through the Suburban Purchasing Cooperative. The vehicle's emergency lighting and installation will cost a total of $96,650. They are a 2021-22 budgeted item. This item has been reviewed and approved by the Public Safety Committee. May I have a motion to approve this resolution, please?
So moved. Second.
Trustee Doris, second trustee Carpenzano. Any discussion or questions? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Mayor. Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Doris?
Yes.
Trustee Rupsis?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Next resolution up is 21R-047, approving an emergency purchase of Xylem Water Solutions for replacement of the Flygate model NP 3202.095, which is an 8-inch Volets submersible pump. Is that correct, Lucas?
Yes.
Thank you. This resolution approves an emergency purchase for a submergible pump at plant number 3, which is located at 127th Street. The existing system has become unserviceable. The new pump is for raw sewage and will move raw sewage to the aeration basins. The total cost of this item is $35,728.34. May I have a resolution to approve this, please? We need this, right,
So
Lucas?
moved. Yes. So moved.
Trustee
Second.
Lawler,
Second.
second trustee Rupsis. Any discussion or questions? Lucas, you want to tell us a little bit about this since it's an emergency purchase?
Yeah, so there's 3 pumps that take the raw sewage and put it in the aeration basin. The aeration basin is basically just a bunch of circles that it goes around, and a lot of bugs eat the sewage that's in there, where it'll come out as clean water. The plant runs with 2, but if one of those pumps go down, we would not be able to pump enough raw sewage, so we would have to, I don't know, get some buckets and some food.
That's what we'd be calling all those new commissioners.
So we've rewound the pump a couple times. It's just an older pump that just needs to be replaced.
Good. Any questions?
No, we usually like to take time to explain these types of purchases.
I'm sure, especially this one.
And especially in detail,
Sure.
to educate the.
All right. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Rupsis?
Yes.
Trustee Doris?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Next, we have one ordinance up for consideration this evening, ordinance number 21-036, amending Chapter 13 of the Municipal Code, decreasing Class C1 from 5 to 4 and increasing Class B from 11 to 12. Fiesta Market located at 160 North Bolingbrook Drive. Fiesta Market is requesting to change their current Class C1, which is packaged beer and wine only, to a Class B, which includes packaged alcohol and liquor. Therefore, this ordinance eliminated the license they currently have and grants them the packaged liquor license. May I have a motion to approve, please?
So move.
Second.
Trustee Zarate, second trustee Carpenzano. Are there any discussions or questions? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Mayor. Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Doris?
Yes.
Trustee Rupsis?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Thank you. Next, I'm sure many of you may be here. We have this item on the agenda for Attorney Odelson to explain the possible cannabis ordinance. And just give us a little bit of background information, specifically the zoning, the licensing, and the tax. And again, this is only a discussion item this evening, and we will have it again for discussion at the next board meeting. And you can also send comments either to myself or the village clerk. That being said, Mr. Odelson,
Thank you, Madam
floor is
Mayor.
yours.
Thank you. The mayor and the trustees have received a number of documents from our office. One is a PowerPoint presentation, which in general describes procedures and what you can do. and 3 ordinances. I'd just like to take a minute to go through the PowerPoint presentation, not to read it, but just to highlight some things that you should look for. There's 4 considerations that you need to think about as far as ordinances go. The Municipal Cannabis Retailers Occupation Tax Ordinance, the Zoning Text Amendment Ordinance, the Cannabis Business License and Regulations Ordinance, and the updates to our general criminal offenses. Now, you don't have to worry about that one because we've already taken care of that in updating our offenses to take into account the new law. So that's one thing we don't have to be particularly interested in because we've done it. Also included in the packet are the revenues that we pulled off the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation, showing the multi-million, billion-dollar industry in Illinois. One thing very significant that I found with these numbers is that the out-of-state resident sales in 2020 amounted to almost $173 million. So it's one industry, like it or not like it, where people are crossing over into Illinois to spend their money here rather than us going to Indiana or somewhere else. So we are getting significant revenue not only from in-state residents, but also from out-of-state residents. The state taxes and fees are high. The state taxes, the sale of cannabis at a very high rate, depending on the percentage of THC within the product. Those numbers are there for you. Significantly for us and for other municipalities, there's something called the Cannabis Regulation Fund, where some of the tax money that the state charges goes into a fund that's distributed to municipalities, whether you have licensed marijuana, cannabis sales or not.
And we received that today.
In the total for 2020 to 2021, July 2020 to June 2021 is $71,992. We get that as part of being part of the state. That's just what the state gives us. Aside from that, we would pass an ordinance, which I'll go over in a minute, charging up to 3% of gross receipts against the sale of cannabis, which is in addition to the other sales tax revenues and home rule sales tax revenues. This will amount to a significant dollar amount. We can only estimate based on state revenues what that would bring into to Bolingbrook. And there's the next page is a chart taking the total amount of revenues to the state, dividing it by the number of dispensaries, and coming up with an approximate number of how much each municipality gets. The estimates are somewhere between $35,000 and $45,000 a month to the village. But that's just an estimate. Procedure-wise, the first thing we have to do is to go to the Plan Commission to get a zoning text amendment, and the Cannabis Regulation and Tax Act allows the trustees to regulate the sale of cannabis or the cultivation and growth of cannabis, and it's pretty similar to the sale of alcohol, which you're able to regulate also. You can enact ordinances governing the time, the place, the manner, and the number of cannabis business establishments. This would include the minimum distances between cannabis businesses, if there's more than one, and distances between churches, residential establishments, et cetera, et cetera. That's all goes to the Plan Commission and then to you. You're also able to authorize or permit the on-premises consumption of cannabis at a dispensing location or at a retail tobacco shop. Again, totally within your power to do or not to do. You also can limit where cannabis establishments go through your zoning ordinance or your zoning text amendment. All text amendments require notice and a public hearing before the planning board. And to answer one of the residents, mayor and board, that is open for public comment to go to the planning commission, make all the comments there, and make the comments again when it comes back to our board. Which cannabis business establishments can you allow? You can allow dispensaries, you can allow cultivation centers, you can allow craft growers, cannabis infusers, cannabis transporters, or you can have co-locations where they cultivate and they dispense. Again, totally within your power, depending on who wants to come to Bolingbrook. The text amendment that will be presented to the Plan Commission and then to you looks at where to put these cultivation centers or dispensaries. Of course, they're not going to be allowed in any residential zoning districts, but then you have choices of industrial, general industrial, office, et cetera, going through your categories. Matt's here, I think Matt's here, isn't he? Yeah.
Yes, he's here.
And Matt was in the meeting with the mayor, myself, and the co-administrators when we initially talked about this. And you know, maybe I can just turn it over to you for a minute to talk about the process for zoning.
Sure. So obviously, as Bert alluded to, is the first step would be a text amendment, which would be brought before the Plan Commission. As part of the text amendment, many things that we would look at are buffer zones, as we'd call them. So it's not just a matter of, okay, it's zoned commercial, you're allowed to have them. It's then, all right, is it zoned right? Is it within X amount of feet of another dispensary? Is it X amount of feet away from, whether it's a school, a church, daycare center? Those are all things that we can look at. So, for instance, if a location does meet X, Y, and Z and it wants to be brought before the Plan Commission, what we would do is present it no different than any other special use, and that the Plan Commission would have a recommendation that night. That said, the recommendation then would be brought to the village board to be either recommended for approval or denial. There's many factors obviously that go into this. So no different than if someone wants to open a liquor store, we look at many different factors. And we, you know, if this were to move forward, it would be no different. We would look at all those things and have a sit-down meeting well in advance of them just moving forward. So I think it's a touchy subject, obviously, but it's something that comes with a lot of thought. And I think that over the next, month or two, there's going to be a lot of discussions that had, and public input will come into play. So I just want everyone to be aware that it's not as simple as you pass it and it's a yes, and then they can open anywhere they want. It's not how it works. So it will be a lot of public involvement along the whole way. So.
Thanks, Matt. Any questions for Matt at this point? Okay. So the rest of the PowerPoint talks about what Matt just talked about, special use requirements, and every dispensary would be a special use. So they have to go through the process. Again, you consider whether there's on-site consumption, what are the parking regulations, is there a limitation as to how many and where. The first ordinance you would be asked to pass is the thin one, and that's the one that imposes the 3% tax. And if you're going to go ahead with this, we need to pass this by September, so I can file it in September before October 1st. And so it takes effect January 1 of next year. So that's kind of easy to understand. The second one that I distributed to you is the approving of a text amendment to our zoning ordinance. Again, going through the steps that Matt just outlined, going to Plan Commission first, how someone would apply for a special use. Again, that's where public comments are welcomed, and we hope we get them at the Plan Commission. This ordinance, this is all in draft, so I urge you to read this because it's not set in stone. We've used this type of ordinance in other communities successfully, and that's where we drew it from. Also, I used other ordinances from out of state, where other states who have had more experience with cannabis. I pieced together some material from other states and put them into this ordinance and the next one I'm going to talk about. These ordinances are very heavy on making the proposed licensee have security cameras, lighting, additional parking, landscape screening, other improvements as a condition of issuing the special use permit to, number one, ensure the safety of the employees, and number two, to ensure the safety of the customers of the business establishments. You'll see that when you read that. It's heavy on that.
I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Are we able, just fast forwarding a little bit, are we able to see, to look at a state that has passed a law to have dispensaries? Is there any metric we can find that shows an increase in crime or increase in traffic to those particular dispensaries? Is that possible, or?
Yes, yes. In fact, what I learned early on when this all started anew in Illinois, and we crafted what I consider a model ordinance in Kankakee when we did this, is that the companies themselves will supply you data from the states that they've already been in as to increase in either crime or increase in police protection, of course, increase in revenues, and what they do to help the community as far as the impact of the facility. So yes, we will get those statistics for you from other states.
So just from a historical perspective, when the law was passed by the state legislature allowing communities to do this, we did go through an analysis and see some information from other states. And the village board at the time chose not to permit local dispensaries because it was too, the information from other states caused some concern for us. And so we had that information, but I'm sure there's more information now from other states.
Yep.
Sure.
And you'll see from the zoning ordinance that the Plan Commission will consider the impact of the proposed facility on existing or planned uses located within the vicinity of the zoning area where one may go. The proposed structure itself in which the facility will be located, including total square footage, security installations, like I said, a security plan, an odor control plan, building code compliance, hours of operation, anticipated number of customers and employees, anticipated parking demand, available private parking supply, anticipated traffic generation, and adjacent roadway capacity. The site design has to include access points, internal site circulation, commercial vehicle loading and unloading, and parking. There's a lot that goes in to the initial zoning ordinance. The final ordinance is my favorite. It's the business regulations ordinance, where we're able to define what all the terms mean, and you'll see that in the beginning of the ordinance. And then as you go on, you'll see the requirements that we're going to require for a proposed licensee, what the business has to show us. It's a detailed application procedure, very detailed, again, similar to a liquor license. Goes to our police department for background checks, et cetera, et cetera. But far more detailed than the liquor license application. The building commissioner and the chief of police work hand in hand in order to make sure that the proposed establishment meets all the requirements we've set forth. There's a revocation or suspension of cannabis business license. Again, that goes to the mayor, like it does for liquor license. And there's a whole set of terms in the ordinance for the mayor, who we'll call the cannabis commissioner, which is a term we put into other ordinances. Mayor may not have to hear if we in fact go forward with this, and if in fact there is some type of problem. There are numerous cannabis business regulations, which you'll see, which I'm not locked into, open to more discussion, including advertising. We can First Amendment doesn't mean too much here. We're able to restrict advertising. And you'll see a whole section about additional cannabis business regulations and things that we've added from knowledge in other states, where a problem may have started, and we put things in here to stop that. There's also something that other communities have not done, except for two of mine, and that's to provide that as part of the special use permit, the licensee has to enter into an impact agreement. Now, our law doesn't provide for that, but there's nothing to say that we can't have that. And what I've provided, and I'll give you another example in Calumet City, we have an impact agreement with the dispensary there where they pay a minimum of $75,000 on up to a lot more over and above the 3%. And we require them to hire additional security, additional screening, and it's reviewed every 6 months. So I'm going to ask that the board consider allowing us to do an impact agreement, if you go ahead with the whole process, to require an impact agreement as part of the zoning application. So that's the very short version of a very long topic that's continuing to evolve as we go. I also included a very recent article that's very interesting as far as revenue. And Ken gave me a copy of today's Herald News, yesterday's, which talks about how much revenue has come to Will County. It's over $1 million, with approximately $425,000 in annual revenue to our neighbors in Romeoville. Again, I just scanned that real quick. So it's not all about revenue. It's about what you want to do as far as the community goes, and whether you want these establishments or not. If the board decides to go ahead with this, then you have the foundation, the framework to get a really good start. Again, August would be our time before the Plan Commission, and then come back here in September. That's kind of the plan there. So I'm open for any questions.
Well, I think it's important, as Trustee Lawler mentioned, that we sort of, from a historical perspective, look at where we were at the initial go-round of this topic. And at that point in time, as mentioned, the board decided to take sort of a wait-and-see approach, see how it would look and turn out in some of our surrounding communities. I think we do now have more data, more information from communities like Romeoville, Naperville, immediate, to our borders. One thing I think important to note is the Romeoville location actually borders Bolingbrook, and that led me to, reach out to Administrator Teppel, and I look forward to having a further discussion with Chief Rompa to better understand what kind of issues, if any, have we seen with that facility being so close to our community. And the feedback was that we have not seen an uptick in crime, traffic accidents, and other issues and concerns that we looked at in the beginning, right, and wanted to make sure before we made a decision to approve it. Obviously, there are residents on both sides of this, for it, and are strong in their opinion of, being for it. Primarily, you hear the reasons of revenue and increased revenue for the community. So with that, I think we would have to understand what those numbers could look like, how that revenue would be used. And we had a resident speak this evening about concerns and issues, and those were all the things we looked at then that I think we should look at again now. Factors that should be assessed, you know, potential revenue, again, how that revenue would be used, location analysis. I like to see some data on, to help us if we were to proceed, you know, understand what would be the optimal location. Is an industrial location most optimal, or would it be, you know, feasible to do a more traditional commercial space or strip mall? All of those things are important. And obviously, another resident brought up the importance of garnering resident input throughout this process. And I know Attorney Olson, by the way, thank you for that detailed report. I found it very informational and very informative. And there are some significant numbers, you know, to consider. But, you know, we do want to see, I would like to see data as it relates to Naperville and Romeoville. I've read some articles from Naperville, and it sounded like it was pretty significant. And I've heard the same as it relates to Romeoville. But again, understanding, you know, how that revenue would be used, and also the selection process. So the board's involvement in actually selecting the vendors. I've heard input from residents on that topic and point, right? So all of these things, if we're going to do it by October, if that were to be the goal and the ultimate outcome, there's a lot that sounds like needs to be, you know, reviewed, considered by this group before we can ultimately make another sound and educated decision.
Great. Any other comments? No. Thank you, Mr. Odelson.
Welcome.
Next, we will go to trustee comments and reports, please. Trustee Roopsis?
Yeah, I just wanted to reiterate getting involved, not just about cannabis, but everything in the community, and staying informed. And I think it's really great when people come out to these meetings and encourage people to attend all of the meetings that they can, especially if they're interested in a particular subject, so that they can be informed about what is really going on as they voice their opinions. Other announcements, Lakewood Ridge Homeowners Association is having their annual community-wide garage sale this week, Friday, July 16th through Sunday, the 18th, and they have over 25 homes participating. The Lakewood Ridge community is located in the heart of Bolingbrook, south of Boughton Road, north of Briarcliff, east of Lindsay Lane, and west of the power lines. Sort of over by Pelican Harbor-ish area. Directly south of Johansson Farms. Look for individual garage sale signs posted at each intersection throughout the community. Come and find your treasures, meet new friends, and save some money on the stuff you need. Also, the Beautification Commission will be housing judging for Landscape Excellence Awards July 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Please make sure your house numbers are clearly visible.
Thank you, Mr. Odelson, for providing the information you provided. I know past years when we considered this before, Mr. Teppel provided some very detailed information on the impact and did some great research. The decision on cannabis is a serious one, and as noted, it does affect the fabric of the community in a lot of different ways. So there's a lot to be considered, and all the different points will definitely be considered. On a fun note, if cannabis is not fun, the Village of Bolingbrook takes over the presentation of the Summer Concert Series starting tomorrow night. Thanks to Christy Sorensen for choosing a great set of 6 bands, the first 6 bands of the year, and it's behind Village Hall on the hill. Had some pretty impressive crowds. Somebody else is doing the counting, but if I do crowd counting, we probably had close to 2,000 people. But off the simple face of comparing it to 2 years ago, it's more people attending this year than 2 years ago. So good start to the season, first 6 concerts. So thanks to the Park District for presenting those. Tomorrow night is a band, and these are 7:30 to 9. If you can't show up in person or don't wish to, you can go on Facebook Live, Village Bolingbrook, Roger C. Clare Performing Arts Center, bolingbrook.com, Channel 6, Channel 99, and see the concert. Spoken For, I did some research on them, is the name of the band, and they are associated somehow, I was trying to figure it out, with Maggie Speaks. And if you've been around Illinois for a long time, Maggie Speaks is a very popular band. So they're going to start out tomorrow night, 7:30 to 9. Concession stand is available. Somebody made sure I mentioned that, although you can bring your own items and enjoy them on the hill. The band next week is a longtime Bolingbrook band, Scramble, and you've seen them around town at various festivals over the years, so that's going to be next week. Not only do you get live music, but the Theater on the Hill is putting on Guys and Dolls through July 18th, weekends, and you can go to theateronthehill.org or see them on Facebook, and you can get tickets at theateronthehill.org for the performances. Good community theater, again at the same facility. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. I want to say congratulations to the new appointments. It's always good to see people stepping up and getting involved in a commission any way possible. So to Teresa and Mike, congratulations. I also want to echo on Amy for the fact that it is important to have some real human dialogue opposed to a Facebook thread. I mean, me being a new trustee, this has probably been my busiest week on my phone with my friends and acquaintances because of this topic of cannabis coming. But the reality is they are asking legitimate questions and they are concerned and they do want to know what's happening with it. So I think that has been helpful more so than reading something on Facebook and taking it and running with whatever opinion you might want to formulate. So please engage in real human dialogue. So thank you to the residents for the comments. We seriously appreciate it. On another note, so 6th Annual Veterans Day Appreciation is Saturday, August 14th. That'll be from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Performing Arts Center. This is open to the public, free admission, and of course, free lunch to the veterans. Rockin' Recycling, Saturday, July 24th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Roger C. Clare Performing Arts Center. Donations are welcome. Eyeglasses, hearing aids, cell phones, please bring them as they are needed. In exchange for that, you will receive a free raffle ticket for each item donated. And it's going to a good cause. Music by Raising Cane. You know them? I don't know
Good
them.
band.
Awesome. He knows all of them. Music by Raising Cane. But yes, be sure to check all those things out. And again, please dialogue, get involved, and we really do appreciate it.
All right. I do want to give a congratulations to our appointments this evening, especially Mike Martin, who is just a gem in our community, and I'm so glad to see him officially on the commission now. Big congratulations to BHS Raider alum Malik Binns. I just got sent a note today that he was selected by the Philadelphia Phillies in the MLB draft earlier today, I believe. So congratulations to Malik there. That was a neat note to see. One quick comment. Thank you, Attorney Olderson, by the way, for the very detailed packet and attachments. One thing that was helpful, and I believe it was Deputy Mayor Lawler who alluded to Ken Teppel, or at the time, Public Safety Director. I know that there was discussion at that time, the State Chiefs Association and sort of feedback. Now that sort of the hype of the state is over, I would love to see if they have any further guidance, analysis. I think that would be helpful. I know at the time they were very much opposed to it. I'd love to see if that's changed or what their feedback is. Of every call that I've gotten this week, it's been one of two topics, either a revenue topic, that it's going to lower our taxes, or it's going to increase crime, and I'd love to attack those two big bundles. So if there's anything available, Chief Romp, I'd love to see that as well. But other than that, I appreciate the packet, and I look forward to, I'm sure, a few meetings of good discussion. That's all.
Okay, I have free family fun, movies in the park. Get your popcorn, blankets, and lawn chairs. Show begins at 8:45. The movie is Cars. It's Thursday, July 15th at Winston Woods at 200 Winston Drive. And tomorrow will be H2O's 18th annual golf outing gala and dinner, which will be Wednesday, July 14th, and it starts at 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. We are back to a one-day event. The golf tournament will be immediately followed by a celebration under the tent. Proceeds to benefit local area teens. At the Bolingbrook Golf Club, 201 Rodeo Drive. For more information, call Ryan Lawrence at 630-226-8403. And I would like to say that this event is probably one of the best events we have for the youth in this town. H2O goes out of their way, and they really do wonderful things with our youth. So please, if you would like, you could, if you can't attend, donate. So I'd like to thank you and congratulate all the new appointments, and that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, so I too would like to congratulate our appointees. Always excited to see new individuals step up, and obviously Mike is always around, and I'm especially excited for him. But both Teresa and Mike, congratulations on your appointments, and we appreciate you stepping up to serve our community. Malik Benz, as mentioned by Trustee Carpenzano, huge congratulations to that young man. I know him well, and his older brother, Maurice Benz, is a good friend, and he served in our community before moving away as a fire and police commissioner. So this is a homegrown individual, and to see him be, this evening drafted into Major League Baseball is exciting news. The Bolingbrook STEM Association, want to give an update there, wants to ensure everyone's aware of a virtual and in-person summer break STEM camp that's taking place July 27th through the 29th. There's coding and opportunities to learn robotics and sort of sharpen your skills if you are already aware of these things, or to learn if you're a first timer. So we want this to be available and open to all students. Bolingbrook STEM Association is stating, and so scratch game designing, learning to code using HTML, hands-on science, learning to code using Python are some of the activities. So the first 2 days are virtual, sort of still keeping, being as precautious as possible as we sort of hopefully continue to improve as it relates to COVID. But the third day, the 29th, will be in person. And so that day, students will be asked to wear a mask. Looks like it will be an outdoor event as well. So still, looking to be cautious as possible, but wanted to give an opportunity for some in-person interaction and some hands-on science opportunities. So you want to register by July 23rd. You can go to bolingbrook.org/STEMcamp to register. I believe that is it. Oh, one more. Campfire, Illinois Prairie, and Magnificent Mutts and Meows are hosting a pet adoption with an open house and more. That's taking place Saturday, August 7th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 455 Trout Farm Road here in Bolingbrook. If you'd like to fill out the adoption application in advance, you can go to magnificentmutts.org. Thank you.
Thank you. Would be remiss if I did not congratulate Trustee Carpenzano and his wife Nadia on the new arrival of Miss Mina. Looking forward to meeting her,
She'll be here soon.
and I'm very glad that maternity leave is over.
Me too.
I also would like to thank everyone that helped and made 4th of July such a wonderful event that it was. Our Bolingbrook Police Department, Fire Department, Public Works, Golf Club staff. I mean, the event, considering all the changes that we quickly had to go through from when this thing was originally put together, we were what, back in April?
Phase 4.
Right, phase 4, April, trying to figure out what we were gonna do and how we were gonna do it and if we were going to do it, to quickly evolving and developing into a phase 5 and trying to make it an enjoyable but yet safe event. The messages that we received that night, the show was amazing, largest show in town, in Illinois, I hear. People were in and out of that parking lot, like I don't know how or when, but the buses, the remote parking, everything was flawless, and kudos to all those involved. Thank you so very much. We're looking forward to maybe adapting some changes and feedback that we've gotten, so we'll see how that goes. With that, we have no executive session this evening. No other business before the board, so I would like to have a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Trustee Watts, second. Trustee Rupsis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you very much and have a great evening.